Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So it's June the 3rd, Monday, June the 3rd. We have a whole bunch of planets, six of them, apparently all lined up this morning. Maybe this is why we're having some funky little connection things here in Zoom, Facebook world streaming, but we have made it in. And like I said, you have me, Roberta Robbins, and my friend Nancy Reed, who is out on the West Coast in BC. I am in Ontario, and we are going to do an intuitive card reading for the month of June. We already did our forecast last Thursday, and that is posted in the Cosmic Earth Weavers group, which is my private group. Nancy's there a lot with me, and we have a lot of other lovely people that come in and offer healings and meditations and share their wisdom. There's just so many great things, and we have a beautiful library of 2 years worth of people sharing so many things. So a lot of helpful tools over there. If you're not part of the community yet, have a look, Cosmic Earth Weavers, and come on in and see if it's for you. Now, Nancy, we did our Sacred Rhythms forecast, where we always blend the astrology and the numerology, cardology. We are weaving the sacred wheel and messages and guidance and feeling, all the things that we get. Plus, Nancy also does lovely essential oil blends to support you through the month, which Nancy posts over in the Cosmic Earth Weavers. But you can always follow Nancy. She gives lots of beautiful remedies of these blends always on her pages. So Nancy, since we are in a different platform, why don't you just do a quick little intro about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Nancy Reed. So you can find me at Nancy Reed on Facebook or Willow Tree Coaching on Facebook and Instagram. I have many beautiful tools in my tool belt that I love to share, many of which Roberta has just talked about. And my purpose with all of these tools and gifts and connection and community and all of that is really to help others to enjoy their life, to find their joy, their magic, and to share it with others and amplify it in this world. So I am so excited to be here again with you. Doing these readings together is so much fun. I really look forward to it. And yeah, thank you.
So we've done one of these before, the readings. Why not do another one? It's fine because we're blending different medicine and magic together, which gives more insight and support for the month ahead. Nancy loves doing the numerology and cardology, and she also has, things in regards to astrology. She's actually taken astrology in different ways, and one of the ways that she has taken some astrology program was with me, and she's also helped support me with other ones that I've run since the very first one. And we also love using our oracle cards. Nancy and I have in common friends that probably tell us we have too many cards, and we say, there's never too many cards to have. So I know, have you gotten this one yet? Is it coming out?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So of course, we both, I've done the subscription box now. So we're both getting these new decks quarterly from Hay House. One of them that just came in was, as I have my box open, so that's the top part. Do you want to show your box again? So this is Rebecca's Campbell's latest deck, which I was almost going to pre-order it before I went off to Ireland. I'm so glad I didn't, because the deck was waiting for me when I came home. And it's the Ancient Stones Oracle. So definitely I got the deck out. Definitely going to be using that today. Nancy's obviously got something in her hand. What do you got in your hand? Just a deck of cards. So cardology, numerology is going to be woven into this. And I also felt like I wanted to bring in the Earth Wisdom card, which is, I always like showing people decks. I got this one for my Ireland retreat. The ladies loved this one. It was a popular one, and one that I most likely will purchase and have for them the next round, because it's a beautiful deck. Nancy, do you have this one?
I don't.
You don't, you should.
Right? Yes, I
You should.
should.
And I'm just gonna say super affordable a deck. Some decks can get up there for various reasons. One, you're self-publishing, trying to do it yourself, and that always makes your decks a lot more pricier than say if you're going with you're signed in with someone like Hay House or various companies who you may be with. So this one was quite an affordable one, around $18 to
Wow.
20 Canadian. So lovely deck. So I have these two, and I do have a tarot deck, one of my favorite tarot decks, which is from the lovely Chris Ann's the Light Seers deck. And if I feel as though we need to pull it, anything from there for clarity, I will. I'm just going to grab them out of my little pouch that I keep them in. So as I was saying, Nancy and I have um we do a monthly call, and we've been doing it together for a year now. We blend all the things I just said that we blend together, looking at what the forecast is coming in with high dates of numerology dates with astrology, really pointing those out for you guys and working with the energies. And so today we're going to do the cards with we're going to break it down into the weeks, because that's like you guys can always come back to that, and I'll key point some of the week stuff. And then we always just kind of like feel into what we need to do. Like right here, right now, we're just, have a little chat, getting you guys all caught up, making sure everything's running on Facebook world. So Nancy, did you bring anything else with you too? Okay.
Yeah. So I have my Sacred Traveler. Like Roberta said, we both have many decks and are always so in love with all of our decks at certain times. Like there's a reason that we have them all. And sometimes it's a little bit like, oh, like I went into the other room where I have tons of them and sat there at the bookshelf last night going, which one wants to join us tomorrow? And I brought one out, and then I was like, no, that's not it. And went back, and then it was this one. So this is how I decided today which deck wanted to come. But there's always the old favorites that I use like daily, and then there's ones that just want to pop their head in, and this one really wanted to come today. So.
Beautiful. And I don't have that one. I've looked at it. Is it Denise?
Yes.
Yeah, I've looked at it a few times, and that's the thing when we're picking our cards, and we're going to go into a little extra info here because we're in a different, bigger platform right now. So if you're someone that works with tarot, oracle cards, there's a difference between the two. If you don't know that, tarot has a very set, cards when you're working with the suits and you're working with your major and minor arcana to them. They take years and years, actually. There's just so much they can reveal to you over years. So we have the tarot, but we're gonna, the oracle cards are beautiful cards that come up in a lot of different ways. And a lot of times to start with these, it's just feeling intuitively what you're receiving. And so Nancy and I, when we're doing this collectively, this reading, meaning we're not doing ones just for ourselves as part of our sacred practice. This is to connect in, and we're calling in the guides and support of our guides and spirit, divine, the universe, and those that are connecting in if you called for this reading. And so I always say when I do these readings, even if it's just me and I'm doing them over on my YouTube channel, is take what resonates with you and let go what doesn't. And trust that if you feel called, that there's something energetically you're pulled to be here now, trust that too. Okay. So we're going to start weekly. So right now we are on the first Monday of June, and we have this big, beautiful lineup. Maybe you've seen the multiple posts out there about that there is 6 planets that are all lined up, that you could see them with the naked eye, that like if you were up at sunrise, you could see them. There's all this lovely, beautiful energy that's supporting us. And actually, Nancy and I were talking about that in our community when we did the reading for the month. Is there's just such beautiful, big, expansive energy this month for us. And we're in a 5 energy month. And if you have not seen this reading, go check it out. It's over on my YouTube channel, Roberta Ramos. Just go search me. And mostly likely over in Facebook world, but we talk about the energetics and what the heck they all mean. And so there's this beautiful 5 energy coming in just about choice and decision and what we're moving through, and feeling really empowered about that, but also having that beautiful reflection of everything that we have traveled through and that who we are. There's just so much to it. So please go check that out. So starting, like I said, this first week, June the 3rd right now, Nancy, that takes us to the 9th, the 3rd to the 9th.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, Monday to Sunday. Yeah.
it is Sunday. So we're going to look at that, and we can bring in, the weekends already happened. There's just been such beautiful energy coming in. So I'm going to pull my first card for us collectively. The first card I'm getting is Heal Thyself, and that is by the Earth Weavers deck. And then I'm going to pull my second card. And Nancy's got her 2 cards that she's pulling too. Pulling collectively. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, this is really interesting. So 2 decks that I'm using, right? So I'm gonna go and just like connect in with my first one for you guys. And the first one is Heal Thyself. And it just feels very June, very I always think of A Midnight Summer's Dream kind of energy feel there, where we are feeling like we are wanting to be out in nature and feeling the magic and feeling like looking for those lightning bugs and being with water a lot more and going out and wanting to be out camping and all those things. But there's this healing quality, right? It's like heal thyself, allow yourself in this first week of June to really connect in, I'm hearing, with this season, with this month. Like we are in our last just the last few weeks of Beltane season of the Great Sacred Wheel. We are also in the Gemini season, and we're just getting ready to go into a summer solstice in a few weeks, in 3 weeks. So there is this feeling of come and feel the magic and that is around you, and allow it to heal you. Allow yourself to listen to how you are connected to this divineness that flows around you and within you. Okay, so this beautiful get outside, reconnect with summer magic, with nature, and pull it in, bring it in, drink it in. I'm hearing it. Drink it in very loudly. Drink it in. What did you get, Nancy? Before I showed the other card, which goes so beautifully with my first card.
As does mine. So we got the Ace of Spades, in which today is also Ace of Spades energy. So I was like, well, of course we did. And so aces are all about self, right? So and the spades really want us that mastery, that transformation, that next level, right? So it ties so beautifully with the card that Roberta pulled in that healing thyself, right? Like, okay, so I am the master of myself, nobody else. I don't need to go outside to others. Yes, I need to go outside to nature. And I love that you said that, because in the car driving home from dropping my kids off at school, they were talking about the importance of nature. And I just love, and it was like, oh, that beautiful reminder. And vitamin D. And like this just really, both of those just felt so important to remember, like to get out nature, connect with yourself inwards this week. Allow your personal healing to amplify so throughout this week, so that you're ready to receive the blessings that are here in June. The planets we talked about already, right? In alignment, right? They're here to help us get into alignment, see where we're out of alignment in certain areas, and just tweak, gentle tweaks, like is really what feels strong here, especially tied back to the card that you shared, right? It's like really that water energy, that drinking it in, the gentle it just feels so good. But
It does feel so good. And I've been reading a lot of people's posts that people that I like to follow about the astrology that's happening, various things that are happening beyond even astrology. But there is this feeling right now of us really nurturing, coming back, and there is a slowdown. even though we're excited, like we feel that, oh, it's summertime, the kids are going to be out of school soon and blah, 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 like all those things that there's energy percolating in us. But there is a savoring, and I just really feel like there is a savoring this first week of June for us. Go in, drink it up, soak it up, spend some time out there in nature for yourself, or whatever it is. If it's not nature, something, right, that allows you to soak up and almost start integrating and allowing alchemizing this. There's going to be this other energy that's going to move us and shift and change for the summertime. And the second card I got, which is from Rebecca's deck, her latest, is the Healing Stones. So we got a lot of healing this week. This first week is like heal, go in, nature. And we also have the feminine here on this beautiful card, right? With the water and the illumination, the magic, what's what's underneath the surface. And then we have this masculine energy here with this crystal that he's holding right at his heart space. And it looks to me like a rose quartz kind of energy around in there at his heart, but he has all these sacred circles and the spiral and the energy. And it says tenderness, care, gentleness, and nourishment. I mean, I love how these two came out together, and we have our ace of spades there, plus another card. But there is this care, this gentleness, no needing to rush this first week. There may be thoughts and ideas and new things percolating. And there's a lot of us of feeling like we are really unweaving from from old stories, from what we have been doing. We feel a new calling and how that's going to be for us. And there may be some dreaming. Dreaming's really big right now, coming back into dreaming, and maybe some planning and writing and things like that. But you don't have to rush. And because I feel personally I feel all that, what I just said. And I'm like, and it's okay. I don't have to take a really masculine approach out right now this week. I can just breathe and dream and drink in what's happening. So what do you got there? What's the last card that you got, Nancy?
So the wise leader,
Mm.
and you are a beacon for others. And so I was like, oh yes, of course. Like, so the more that we heal ourselves, the more that we don't go out and heal other people, like, but they witness the change, the growth in you, and then they're like, oh, I can be that too. Right. And like holding this light here, right, being that lighthouse for others, being that safe, gentle, nurturing place where people can receive your medicine, for sure, absolutely, and come in and bask in your light came through, right? And it's just like in this kind, gentle manner. It's like, yes, she is standing here, she's very clear in who she is, but it's people are drawn to her, not her going out chasing, right? And it's just like being that beacon, knowing your own inner wisdom and knowing your truth and your alignment feels really strong in this one. And like the arrow, like just being like, where do you want to point your direction? Like, where are you pointing your energy this week? Feels really strong too. And just being very aware of your choices, and that knowing that you have the power to be at choice.
Can you hold that up a little closer to the camera? Just so we can see there. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. And it feels like, like when I'm also feeling from that is the just savoring and being your own beacon. Like there is this, you being yourself is that beacon and that light and encouragement for others. And yet, can you feel it for yourself? Right? Because we're conditioned to be productive, to be supporting, to be helping. How do we be a service? There's like a lot of outward energy a lot. Can we just sit in it too? Can we feel it? Oh, beautiful cards. All right, so going in to our second week, which then is the 10th to the 16th.
16th, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to read my calendar that's up on my wall over there. I'm like, does that say 16 over there? All right, so I'm gonna pull my two cards for us for the second full week of June for us collectively. Oh, mhm. One of my favorite cards just popped out of this deck. I mean, I think it might be one of, you've not seen this card, Nancy, but I have a feeling being a ruling 5 energy, like I am, you're gonna like this first card. And I'm gonna pull my second card. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. So our second week of June, collectively coming in, the messages and the cards for us. The first card I pulled is freedom.
Mm.
It's freedom. And they have it with 6 energy, like the card is number 6, but we always, being people that love looking at numbers and diving into that, we are in the calendar year of like the 6 months, right? And there's harmony, there's a lot of nurturing and relationships and things like that, but also different kind of, how does that look like in freedom? I feel like when I'm getting in intuitively is there's a lot of relationships going to pop up, stuff for the second week, like how we are viewing relationships and intimate ones, friends, partnerships, like relationships. How do we navigate them? I feel like there's what I'm seeing, they're showing me like a new door opening, which is opening up to new freedom, new possibilities. Where can that take us? How can we be in union? Right, within ourselves, within spirit, within each other, and we have that beautiful, um Celtic symbol there that's going. We have beautiful white flowers, and the moon shining. Of course, we have the full moon still not till the 21st, but we have our new moon in our first week on the 6th. So there's an illumination starting to happen in the second week, right? There's starting to get that illumination for us to have a little bit more I feel like we're starting to come from that first week saying, go within, drink it up, be with yourself, to like the next thing for us on our journey is outwards and community and people that are closest to us. And this freedom within ourselves and how we are together in freedom to honor ourselves and each other.
Beautiful. Next Monday is also a 6 energy day, so that felt very. So the first card that I pulled is the 9 of Hearts. So to me, that's releasing expectation in relationships. So, right, it's like it's not necessarily letting go of the relationship, but it's that expectation that you're holding around how it should be and honoring what is there, what's at the heart of every relationship that you are participating in. Is there something that maybe needs to shift in it? Like this would be a good week to just take a look at that, feel into that. And if not, amazing. If it's a great time to like tweak, but right, like the hearts are on both sides and this is the bridge between, right? So relationships are give and take, mutual. And so the more that we can come from the heart, the freer that we're going to feel in those relationships. So I feel like that is a beautiful tie-in with your card as well.
Yeah. The things we want and things we hope within relationships, right? And what trips us up the most, that makes things trying, is when we don't go to that middle center heart. And I love that you got the 9 of Hearts, that center of self, though, knowing thyself and what you want, what you need, who you are, how are you going to express and feel and to give and honor that from yourself out so the other person knows. And sometimes when we skip over that, we don't have that bridge, or the bridge is a little more crumbly, or an Indiana Jones kind of bridge where you're like, hope you might make it over to the next side, the other side, or the other person might,
Yes.
or you're just trying to, or this is a good analogy. You're both trying to either save yourselves or save each other. It's just wobbly and crazy
Mhm.
and wild and chaotic. So 'cause you can come from your own self, right? And be
Absolutely.
that pillar, be that, there's also that strength, that pillar of knowing in the center, even with this card, is beautiful reflection with the cardology of the Nine of Hearts. My second card that I got here is the Holy Mountain. It says soul calling, sacred journey, pilgrimage. This sounds like really, like I could probably use this for my business right here, this card. I like love that. Soul calling, sacred journey, and pilgrimage. So there is still this, like, it's almost like feels like we're stepping out, or starting to understand, to step out who we really are in a different way. What will this new journey look and feel like? What is the landscapes that will be there for us? And we have the holy mountain. She's, this image of her arms open wide, and there's heart coming from her chest. And the holy mountain isn't it, it's like there's a portal of light that's coming up and through the middle of it, right? And all the crystalline energy that's coming up around it. And so there isn't, it feels like, we think of mountains sometimes of this being strong, or they're strong, they're grounded, but also being something we have to conquer, we have to climb, we have to go over, like a big hardship. I feel as we open ourselves up, everything else opens up on that journey ahead for us. So,
Beautiful, beautiful. So then I got the uncovering treasure beneath the surface lies the bounty. And so it's like, and I love the fact the dragon, we're in dragon year. Like, so anytime I see a dragon, anytime I'm happy. But in relation to this week, it really feels like all of that work, not work, all of that time spent inwards this week will lead into next week, uncovering even more treasures, more discoveries about yourself, more gifts that you're ready to share with yourself and then to share with others. And to be open to receiving the bounty that is right here for you, and just being free and open and unexpecting and assuming about it, and just being like, hello, there you are, beautiful. It's like, I love the warm glow of the card too. Like, it just feels very like nourishing.
can you move that up a little closer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Uncovering the treasure. And yes, dragons. Oh my gosh, beautiful. Um, I have a lot of people that they're like, I just see dragons when you're around me now, Roberta. And so when I was away in Ireland, I thought, no dragon stuff. Like, okay, there may be dragon energy around me, but I have no, and so I'm looking around this room, and of course I have a lot of sacred items over on this side here on a shelf. And I thought, I need some dragons. I'm calling in some dragon stuff. And so I can't get to them, but I did come home with a dragon from the West Coast, which is, I find it's the West and the
Mhm.
coast islands out that way. And then some north part where I really can feel more dragon energy in Ireland. So I did come home with a beautiful dragon buddy. He's watching over me. And then also like a pendant dragon too. So all of a sudden, what we call in, right, to help us. And when we were thinking like that card you just showed us, that what is the treasure? What does it feel like having things around us that feel like, what are our gifts and treasures that's around us too, that we have, and then within us. So love that. All right, so third week, and I think that says the 17th
So the
to
23rd.
the 23rd. We can almost sing that. Um, Nancy and I both love music and songs, and Nancy likes putting songs with her posts and the days and the energies. And I have no doubt she wakes up with songs and hears some. I've been lately been hearing songs like I haven't heard in like forever. And they're all like 70s and 80s, 90s. but like out of the blue, I'm like, where's that song coming from? While I was in the shower this morning, I heard I think it's gonna be a 70s song. It feels like a 70s song, the Ring My Bell song.
Yes. Mhm.
Mhm. Like I was like, all of a sudden I needed to like disco it out while I was having like it feels very kind of like that groove. I don't quote me on that one, but it does feel from that time.
Right.
So my first card I'm pulling or have pulled is a Nine Energy, and it's self-acceptance. And I'm just gonna pull my second card for us. Now, if you guys are here, I don't have anything up to see if anybody's here, Nancy. I don't know if we have anybody that's live, but if you do, make a comment, say hi to us. And I got a question for you right now. Who has been noticing a lot more Egyptian stuff coming in around them? Stuff from Egypt. Archetypes, medicine, goddesses, symbols. Anybody out there? You guys can let me know. Nancy, have you been noticing any of that?
Um,
Or any from anywhere? Any?
I all I was gonna say is I feel like I always notice that, so I wouldn't say more so than usual, but because it's present for me quite often. But
Yeah, I feel like it's getting louder, louder, louder,
right,
louder, and fine tuning in, and also like very Atlantis
yes,
stuff is
that I would notice an
like,
increase collectively. I've seen a lot more of
yeah, and
that.
they blend very well
Mm.
together. So I'll tell you why in a moment when I'm saying that. Not on this particular card, but this first card that I pulled for the third week is acceptance. And these stones, like they have these kind of, I don't know if you guys can see the stones in front of him. In Ireland, in Northern Ireland, the Giant's Causeway, there are these beautiful stones that are all very similar. They're just gorgeous. I haven't made it up there yet, but I also know Scotland has these, what it's like stuff rising in a very unique formation. And he is climbing, it's almost like he's coming up out of the water, climbing, and he's reaching for this beautiful tree that is like beautiful yellow. It's almost like little sparks and that and light that's happening, little flames and are reaching. And so this self-acceptance, it almost feels like, and at the bottom, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's like all these very Celtic images and symbols and that are the spiral life and spiral within. And it's like reaching out and understanding and finally getting to this point of really accepting ourselves, right? Accepting um, who we are, all of it. And I mean all of it. I mean the what we haven't done that we hoped, right? The doors we haven't opened, the doors that we have opened, the journey we have done, the journeys we haven't done, the things we have accomplished, the things that we did not accomplish, the relationships had and gone and passed. Like, I mean, just this acceptance of if you can alchemize and come up and reach and feel that part of yourself. Because nine, the energy number on here of the card too, is that completion into self. And in tarot, the nines are like coming, it's you, that in self, right? Before you step out into a 10 and complete the full completion in community, when we think of it, the number 10 in that way, and in tarot, there is this like claiming and reach out and feeling yourself and acceptance.
Amazing. Um, I just want to give a shout out to Vula and Rosalie and Antoinette and Katie, who are all here. I'm trying to keep an eye on
Thank
them
you.
as well. Yes. Hi, ladies. So wonderful to see you all. So, in that self acceptance, then we follow that up with the Four of Diamonds, which is really like, who are you? What do you value? Here's your stable foundation as you step out into the world of just like, it's your house, your frame, your foundation, right? And it's like, okay, these are the four corners, the pillars of what's important to me. and building up from that. And then it's also noticing and recognizing all of the abundance that is around you already and creating that space in the middle here for all that you want to bring in, right? So it's like all of that self-acceptance that you talked about feels so aligned with this card in being that, okay, all the things that you haven't done and revisiting like what is clear or of those things that you haven't done, what still is in your heart, what do you still want to bring in. Those, some of them maybe you're like, oh wait, no, that's not part of who I am anymore, and that's absolutely okay, and they can go on the outside of the walls and leaving more and more space to bring in what you do want in this next phase for you. I love this card, and this is actually in my yearly energy this year. So I've been like really like, okay, Four of Diamonds. What does that mean for me, right? And just really taking the time to get clear on what you value in that third week of June, and allowing it to show up for you. Allow that space, that nine energy, that allowing, just allow those beautiful gifts and to show up and be present in your life.
You know, as we enter into that third week, we've just passed through the summer solstice portal too.
Yeah.
So we've had the longest day on the 20th, 21st, of sunlight, of activations, of us moving into this next part of the sacred wheel. And so it is this like that new foundation. Whenever I see a four, I think new routines, new foundations. What do we want in the physical world with the diamonds? I have so much four when it comes to my seasonal stuff in astrology. I have 2 seasons back to back of four. It's like divine really said, hey, you really want to get your foundationals and stuff organized here for yourself. Set up your home, and yourself and your world. And I do feel like we've gone for that first week of the rest and the nurturing and the care and getting into nature, and then moving out a bit more in the journey and what we have. And now it's like, and the freedom and the relationships. And then this week, right, just like, what are we building? And even that first card I pulled, there's like a very earthy, stepping building blocks that are happening. And the second card that I pulled here for us, and it says, lay it on the altar. It says, hand it over, soften, surrender, forgive. And when I first glanced at this card, it gave me like this Egyptian Atlantis energy feel to it. And it also has, for me, what I'm seeing is like, now that I read it, right, like also because I just pull it and then I wasn't reading it, but also that soft and surrender, there is divine higher support for us too, and support that we can lean into maybe in a different way, maybe new support. And I say support in the sense of divine spirit guides that can come in, or there is a newness that's coming in for all of us, evolving into who's coming in and working with us, and that we are coming online more with parts of ourselves that are more galactic, cosmic, really ancient, really old. And so as we build the new foundations and the new way and the new building blocks, it is also part of that. It's like that above and below and within energy. But that it feels very powerful, like go within this temple of yourself. And also maybe if you're someone that does, meditation journeys, shamanic journeying, there is this opportunity to see that there is some new guidance, support information coming in for that third week, which tells me that would be a perfect week to make sure I do in the Cosmic Earth Weavers group, maybe a guided meditation into the temple. Nancy, you can remind me of that? Roberta's doing guided
You betcha.
into the temple. I'm going to remember this card because it feels very powerful. I know we're going through we know we're going through powerful times, but it is different. I know we always say that, but each each one, I think when we look back and it's happening so fast and rapidly, right? Like we can't even catch it all. But that's part of the evolutions that we're expanding so that we can catch and alchemize what we need or what we don't.
Follow that up with the fellow travelers, which is support is all around you. So ding 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 ding. Like
Oh.
need I say more? But like in the card, like first, like just noticing the oranges up here. So wild orange essential oil is the oil of abundance. So there is an abundance of support here to help you. That the rainbow, the newness, the peacocks, like there is so much support, seen and unseen. Like this isn't just about the unseen world. It's also about the people here with you, your friendships, your connections, all of that, being open and willing to be like, yes, please support me. Ask for those signs. Absolutely. Like that, the rainbow really was like, yes, be very clear this week on getting clear and saying like, okay, I would like signs on X, Y, and Z, and then be willing to receive them. Because how often do you ask for signs and then no, I want a sign of your sign. Give me a sign that's even more clear, right? But so being willing to receive and paying attention, but also in that knowing that there is support for you already within your community, within your friendships, within your family, and asking if that's what you're in need of that week for that support, and not having to always take it all on yourself, and let others be part of that process for you, because that makes them feel good too. When we don't ask for help, we're kind of robbing people of their opportunity to be the helpers.
Yeah, definitely. And I love that, can you trust more? Can, these signs, the help, it's there. Can you trust without adding all this? Could you give me this and I want this with it? And oh, could you give me like a double replay of, what the message and stuff was? No. You got it. Trust. Yeah. It's funny. I just really want to shuffle up. Apparently maybe it's that I see you with your cards, but I'm like, the deck really wanted to be extra shuffled for the last week of June.
So the 24th to the 30th.
25th?
24th to the 30th.
To the 30th. And we're definitely now into Cancer season. Watery, nurturing, home, intuitive, ruled by the moon season of Cancer season. Love that. So first card of last week here for us. You'll see why I did that in a moment. There's still some cards like this is a fairly, well, both of these decks are new to me. The wisdom, earth wisdom one, like I said, I bought it to take to Ireland. And so I was using it with my group and my ladies were loving it. So there's some cards like the one I just pulled, I haven't seen. Let me pull out our second one, please. Oh, okay. Well, interestingly, both images have the same stance. So my first card that I pulled out, which is the number's 18, there we get another 9. Again, we have a lot of 9s coming up within that self. I know for some reason, when I think of numerology and 9s, I feel like that completion, right? Like getting ready for the beginning, the ending to the beginning. But I also think when I think of tarot, it is that sovereign self energy too, before the next into the community and the expansion. And so it's communication. And look at that card. Oh my. Nancy, you got to go get this deck.
Totally.
And anybody wants to come and join me in Ireland, that's open for Samhain. I just look at, yep, totally, opening up, communication, and it feels like we just went through like this question or this like remembrance and things we were just talking about from the week before that. There's this extra support, listen and ask, receive, communicate it, receive it. Like she's receiving it. Oh my, she's calling it in. And look at all, like, I don't know if you guys can see the
Yeah.
detail in the fire, in the smoke. I should say in the smoke. Those images. Can you see that, Nancy, by any
Yeah.
chance? You can,
Yeah.
okay.
I feel like they're like a deer,
Yeah,
antlers. Yeah.
it's a lot of animal. There's an owl, there's like a lynx, a deer, a wolf, a fox, an eagle. I can't even tell what like there's a couple other things in there, but it's just like the spirits. And look at, once again, you know, we have, see the flowers at the bottom, how they're lit up to that first card that it started with.
Yeah.
From going down and leaning within, under the surface within, to ending the month with this expansion and openness, right? And all the support. So in a bigger, what I'm getting in the bigger way is looking at this month of June from where we'll start with that nurturing and softness of the first week and the journey of things in between to that we will end in more, I want to say, openness and celebration of things in our lives. I feel like the third week, or the last week is celebrating, opening, receiving.
Yes, absolutely.
What do you got there, Nancy?
So the Queen of Spades. And so that queen energy, right? That knowing, that trusting. The queen is just, she just knows she's of service, but she doesn't need to be like, she just naturally serves and helps others, but she also receives what she needs to receive. And she's willing to just to trust and know that all is well in her kingdom, and that trust part just felt really present. And then it also, like, the queen also, like, I feel that Cancer energy there too, right? Like that feminine, that flowing, that intuition, and just that real strong inner knowing. And then when you have that inner knowing, how much more you're able to be able to care for the others within your kingdom, right? Because you're not depleting your own cup. Your cup is full, and you are ready to give from that place of just generosity and caring and love and warmth. And it feels so like you've received all of that that she is receiving in that card, right? And now you're able to expand it outwards. Oh, I love it.
I love that card. And
Yeah.
so, of course, when I was pulling my cards there, I did this because I was like, oh, that first card when I saw, I'm like, oh, I feel that. And then my second card, you
Amazing.
see, like it's just like another opening. It's almost, you know, when we think of night and day, we also feel the night. And when we have spades in cardology, it's the inner reflection, the wisdom, the night, right? And then when we have the rising energy, it's daylight. And we see that with the hearts and the diamonds, the red cards in cardology, and that outward expansion is like, it says, let me read it too. Energy rising, vitality, confidence, power, and decisiveness. I can go for freaking some of that, but we have to go through this journey, especially of this month. I feel like we have this beautiful recipe, this guidebook, this journey. And we had a card that said journey, soul journey, pilgrimage. Like, I feel like we're going week by week. It's, you guys know, every week is every day, but every week is like, goes so quickly, but there's such a, like, pay attention to the medicine and be in it. Because then you're just doing these beautiful stepping stones, which we saw on the cards to do today too. And we also seen this inwards, that's 9 that's showing up, and the sovereignty, and then that queen coming in, and then these last 2 cards. Like, June feels really good. And just allow it without expectations. Allow it, and to be, that's where we need to be, is in the moment. in the awareness. And so vitality, confidence, power, and decisiveness. The energy is rising and it feels like an open expansion too. What's your last card there, Nancy?
Grace and gratitude. So it's like, what is the easiest way to stay within the present moment? To find that gratitude for each and every moment, right? And so through gratitude, joy expands. And like this card just feels so beautiful. Like there's the gorgeous petals falling into her hand, like she's just expressing gratitude and then is able to receive, right? And it's like, um, with grace and ease, right? Like it's this month is not about struggling. It's about accepting, flowing, surrendering, all of the things that we've talked about. And then this card just kind of summarizes it all so beautifully. It's just like finding that gratitude, expressing it. Like I feel like the expression of gratitude is really important, whether that's journaling it, saying it out loud, making sure that those that you are grateful for know that you're grateful for them. Don't just assume, but really in that Gemini and then that Cancer energy, like that outward expression of thank you. Such a powerful phrase, right? And also gratitude for yourself, right? Like all that you are in every given moment. Back to the very original card, right? Every piece of you being grateful for all of it, not just the good or the bad, all of it. And then your joy and your love of self will expand, and then that will expand outward into the world and to others as well.
It feels like a beautiful warm blankie.
Mhm.
I see it with a tapestry of beautiful flowers of spring and summer, coming together. Um, I don't know where May went. I know there was lots of things happening
You
in
were
May.
on a grand adventure.
Uh, it was all good. But it's almost like, for me, it's like, and I think probably for my ladies that were with me in Ireland, and probably for a lot of people, like, it's almost we're allowing May to catch up with us too. We have to not only just May, but all the things, right? It's all the things, because I think we have a tendency of being hit with things, little things, and they don't feel little. I mean something at one at a time and having to go so deep sometimes within it. But it's almost like allowing a softening, as we heard in the cards and the messages, and just receiving and almost like doing that bird's eye view of things and the softness. Allow yourself to be, allow yourself to be that beautiful garden that you stand back and you look at those big beautiful gardens that people maybe you have yourself, or you visit gardens or people's, and you're like you're not just looking at one beautiful flower. You're like, wow, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. It's so big. Look at all the pathways. Look at that tree. Look at that. Look how they're moving and dancing together. Like maybe not dancing, but you know what I mean? Like how they blend that. There's an art, there's a beauty within people that do these beautiful gardens. Look at yourself that way. Look at yourself that way. So thank you, Nancy. This
Thank
is
you.
fun. Like this is newer to us, new in the sense that we're collaborating this way too. Thank you. I mean, it's so powerful, these messages. And I hope that you guys, those that found us over on this page, and I will definitely post this over in a Cosmic Earth Weavers group. Thank you for the ladies that have joined us. Vula, Rosalie, Katie, I heard those names.
And Antoinette.
Thank you for joining us. And those that will probably join us later on the replay or over on the Cosmic Earth Weavers. And go, if you want more about some dates and things, go check out the full monthly, more of the sacred rhythms, astrology, numerology part. So thank you again. I'm going to hopefully shut this all off properly. Nancy, do you have anything to complete with?
Just have a beautiful day, everybody. Enjoy and take some time for yourself today.
Bye, guys.